It is finally time to do this. I have a serious problem. You might also have the same problem, and that problem is I'm addicted to this thing. My phone is so addicting. And ever since I re-downloaded TikTok, I don't know, I guess the end of last year, it's been so hard to break this addiction because it's just so easy to do this and to escape the reality of life that feels a little heavy at times. Okay, a lot of the time lately. And it's nice to watch things that distract us. And I have tried so many times with so many different tools and techniques to break this habit. I think it's just part of the journey. Healing is not linear. There's going to be ebbs and flows. And right now I want to get out of this peak of being addicted to it. And I'm also being realistic that it's not going to happen overnight. I'm still going to use my phone. I'm still going to go on social media. I'm not going cold turkey because that's not realistic. I share my life on social media. I like consuming content. I like creating content. So going cold turkey is not the vibe. But having a healthier relationship with this thing is what I'm aiming for. A realistic relationship, a practical relationship, a useful relationship, a time and a place relationship. That is what I'm looking for. And so, the thing that I keep coming back to, that I've come back to time and time again, is that I can't just say, I'm going to use my phone less. That's just simply not going to work. So the idea is to replace the screen time with more things that I enjoy. So adding more things to my life that take me away from doom scrolling on my device. So replacing my phone time with things that bring me joy. The thing that is also percolating is I want to get back into being a little more analog, a little more not using this for every single thing that I do. I use it to check the weather. I use it for directions. I use it as my camera. I use it for my notes. I use it to connect with people. I use it for everything. And so it's really easy if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go write a note, that I just get sucked into this because my thumb has muscle memory, and that muscle memory knows right where to go, how to get to those apps that make me scroll for hours. And so with that in mind, I am pulling out my traveler's notebook, my trusty dandy traveler's notebook. If you are not on the side of the internet of journaling, I think I might have just woken you up to something, because it's a really beautiful part of the internet. It's cozy and it makes me feel so inspired and cozy, and I hope by me sharing this, it makes you feel cozy and inspired, and maybe you'll start a little journal ecosystem. And I'm on the quest to officially start my journal ecosystem. So the great thing about this journal is, and traveler notebooks in general, it doesn't have to be this brand, and I have seen people make them themselves. I bought this like 7 years ago because my roommate at the time had one, and I just got sucked into it. I could join a cult probably because I easily was influenced. But the point is, let me show them. There's all these different journals. So this is one journal. We got another journal. Then we got another journal. And then we got a little pocket. And so all of the pages in this are full, which is why I haven't gravitated towards it. My hope is that this can come everywhere with me. I mean everywhere. I want to get a pocket that can hold my credit cards and stuff, so it becomes my wallet also. But this will be like my pride and joy that will go in every single bag and bring with me everywhere. So that if I have an idea, I write it down. I don't pull out my phone, I write it down. And so my plan is, I am so excited for this, is I'm going to have one journal that's like my to-do list, my daily planner. And in that, I'll have a little planner for the day of what I want to do and what I need to do, and just do that every night. Write down what the day ahead has, and if I didn't finish in that current day, I'll roll it into the next day if I have space, or I'll fit it in. So that's my plan, because I also just need to get my life organized. And then I'm going to have a journal that's just for creativity. It could be drawing. It could be, let me show you an example. It could just be making pastel, whatever. It could be drawing weird shapes. It could be writing notes to myself and creating. Or if you've ever seen junk journaling, might have just opened your eyes to another something else. I want to try to challenge myself to do one full spread, so 2 pages every day for a week. Just inspire myself to like be creative. It could be a collage, but get out of like my mind and just like connect to myself, like my truest self, not for anyone else, and come back to this. So I'm gonna have my planner, my creativity, one for just like writing down all the ideas, all the things that come to mind, the creative things that come to mind. Just write it down. A brain dump, if you will. A journal for brain dumping. Those are the ideas that I have at the moment. So I'm gonna have at least 3 journals. I feel like I want a 4th, and my goal is for next year, I'm gonna make a journal that's just logging all the books that I've read. I've seen people do that, and I love that idea. They put a little picture of it, they write the dates that they read it, and then they write, what they thought of the book. So then they have this log of the things that they read, and then they can recommend books, or they can look back and be like, oh, I read that. And I love that idea. So that'll probably be my 4th journal, but I want to start it in the new year so that like I have a full log, and I don't want to go back and input the books that I've already read this year. So I'm excited. So we are gonna go, and we are gonna go to the paper store, one of my favorite places in the world. Haven't been in so long, and we're gonna get all the little inserts to go in this bad boy and set it up. But this is not the only thing. The other things that I'm going to be doing to help improve my screen time is, one, I got a brick from Kyle for my birthday, and I've been trying every night to brick my phone around 7:38 so that it becomes a dumb phone, that I can't get into anything unless I go to this, scan it, and unlock my phone. Sometimes I go and scan it and unlock my phone. So I need to find a better relationship with this. But I'm going to put an alarm in my phone. When it goes off, I'm going to go brick my phone, and then my phone becomes a dumb phone, because I don't need to be scrolling on my phone before going to bed. And then to further that, I also have the Opal app installed on my phone, and I have a block from 8 p.m. So if I unbrick this, I got another backup from 8 p.m. Actually, I think it's set from 7:30 till 9 a.m. the next day. So I have all that time where I can't use my phone. And I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So that gives me several hours where I can't use this bad boy. At least not in a smartphone way. And then I also have a block from 1 to 3 o'clock. And the key with Opal is you can set how hard you want it to be for you to be able to unlock it. And I have the hardest one that's free. I have the free plan. And it'll make you wait 2 minutes, a minute and a half. And by the time I wait that long, I'm done wanting to use my phone. I really only wanted to scroll for 1 minute while I was like uncomfortable waiting in a line or whatever. So it kind of makes you look and be like, wow, I really have an addiction that I want to wait a minute and 30 seconds to be able to just scroll. So those are my 2 things that I have in place to further improve this relationship with my phone. But I think it's important to have a time in the middle of the day where I can't access things. And I might set like another parameter later in the day, but this is my starting point. But we gotta go fill this bad boy. And we have to fill our time with things that just make us feel joyous. That's what I'm doing, leaning into that. Reading. I feel like, this is a good thing that I want to do in this. Maybe having like a list of things that give me dopamine that aren't my phone. And so then when I want to get that easy hit of dopamine, I can look at my list in my journal, not on my phone, and get that little hit of dopamine by doing whatever that thing is. I think that might be our first entry. The other thing that I love about having a journal, I just have to share this before we go to the store, is that I was using this very often before. And let me find it. I wrote the day that I found out. It might have been the day after we found out that Kyle's cancer returned. I'm so grateful that I stumbled upon this, and I'm so grateful for these little messages that I kind of wrote to myself. I read this to Kyle, and he was like, wow, that just really hit me. And it really hit me too. And it's something that it's interesting to look back on and be like, I've come so far, and yet some of these feelings are so much the same. So I wrote, I've got the tools. My toolbox is packed. Yet why do I feel like I don't have the ones to help, the ones that make this go away? Because girl, you didn't have the tools. There weren't the tools that you needed in that moment. But I was just trying to make sense of it. And I thought I had tools. And I didn't. And now I do. And so I just want to give like that version of me the biggest hug, because it was such a hard time in my life. I'm glad that I have this. Okay, and then last thing before we go to the store. I wrote this, and this feels very pertinent. Also, like on the same day that I wrote the other thing about the toolbox. I just feel like this is so pertinent, and specifically to this video and where I'm at in life. If it was all gone, what would I wish I had done more, said more? How would I have wished I had lived? What would I have wished I celebrated more? We're finding the joy. The journal has spoken. Life is precious. It is not meant to be sucked into this phone. And honestly, reading this out loud has already like felt like a little shift inside of me of like, I don't want my life to slip away. And it's so easy to fall into this trap. This trap is easy, but like being with ourselves is a much more beautiful experience. Being present to the life around us is a much more beautiful experience. And I want to experience that. Let's go freaking experience it. Let's go create some joy, experience joy, be in a state of joy, get some journals. Okay. I got so many goodies that I'm so excited for. I love the paper store. I think it's my favorite store. I got this repair kit because my journal needs a little fixing. A just plain notebook, a planner, and then a lined journal. Then I was gonna get a sleeve to put like stuff in, but it was expensive, so I'm gonna go back at a later date. I got a sticker book, which I'm so excited for. Let's find some good stickers. I think this will be so fun to like decorate my journal with, and like a way to be inspired. Like maybe each week I'll put like a sticker on the journal. I just think it's so fun. And then I went to the library and I saw these books on the new releases, and Summer in the City, it looks so cheesy, but it's based in New York City. And since I'm planning to run the New York City Marathon, and as a former New Yorker, I was like, I have to pick this up. I feel like it'll be a perfect summer, cozy, read quickly book. And then this book sounded so interesting. I've never heard of this author. She's the author of Gold Diggers, which is apparently like a really well-known book. I think she won some awards for it, or maybe it was a New York Times bestseller. But this is called Goodness Complex, and it sounds really interesting. It's about a woman who's millennial. I'm a millennial, talking about like her relationship to choosing to not have kids, and then choosing to like go a different way from her husband. And I don't know, I think it'll be really interesting. Honestly, the cover sold me, like how beautiful. Come on. So let's get to journaling. Okay, let's get this thing set up. So my little string needs replaced, which is why I bought this. We will see how to do it. I feel like that might be one of the first steps. Okay, actually, I'm gonna take these out because they're cool. Start with Free Diary Weekly Memo. So it has like the date on one side and then just open space on the other one. Then I can kind of put in what's happening every day. Just thread it through. And then I'm gonna put my sketch pad one. It's just blank paper, you know? This isn't what I was hoping it was gonna be. I should have got this one. This one's like got really thick paper. This one's thin. It's not really what I want. And I didn't get a receipt. I was like, I got all the things I need. I'm gonna put this inside the pocket. So then I have like all my crafty stuff next to my journal that all the crafty stuff will be used for. And then I just have the lined notebook. This is so exciting. It's all in Japanese. So let's see if I can figure it out. I'm gonna use the yellow. It's nice they give you like so much so that you can make multiples. I wrote this here. I realized there's directions in English on the other side. It's so nice that they make it so that you can like mend it because it's meant to last a lifetime, which is the way things should be made. And then you can just fill it as you need it. Genius, the Japanese. She's all set up. I think I'm gonna have to go back and get the right paper that I want, but I use the one that I have. I think I need to add some stickers so that I open it and I have like, you know, if I can open it, like something that inspires me on the front that makes me like just want to open this even more. So let's look through the sticker book and see what we can find. I'm so excited for this. Like, I feel like a little kid. So cute. How cute are these? That's the one. How cutesy, my little dog, to inspire me to get to business in my journal. I think I want to get some letter stickers so I can put like get your life together or something, like almost like the dog is talking to me, but he's so stern. I think that's very cute. I'm not gonna start this till next week because I want to start with a full week and we're in the middle of the week, so I'm not gonna do that. But I just saw this and it's like it just has numbers and they're blank, like 1 through 31. I think it's obviously for each month, but I feel like I could use this space as like a way to like keep track of things maybe. We'll have to see. Okay, now I need to, I like honestly kind of don't know where to start because I'm like, what do I want to put in here? How am I going to do this? And like, it feels like so precious and I'm not feeling like creatively inspired at this moment to write anything. So I'm thinking I'm gonna start my designing of these pages tomorrow when I feel like refreshed. I'm gonna start doing that. But I'm so excited for my little traveler's notebook. Feels like a really exciting new endeavor and a fun way to connect myself. Also, while I was out running errands and like getting my journal, I went into like a local tea coffee shop and I stumbled upon a friend that I haven't seen in a long time and we got to chatting and it was just so nice to like interact with people and be out of the house. And what a beautiful way to find joy and to not be on my phone. Not be on my phone. Although my screen time today is already high because before I filmed this video I scrolled a little too much. But tomorrow it will be better because I'm gonna write and journal and create, and I think this is gonna be a great way to hold me accountable and to have a place to come back to instead of my phone. A lot of pressure on this thing, but I believe in it. I believe in us. I have to be really incredibly embarrassingly honest with you. My screen time yesterday was embarrassingly high for me making a video about reducing my screen time. Like, I'm so embarrassed. I can't even tell you how much time I spent on my phone. And so today is my redemption day. I told you this was going to be realistic, and it is realistic. Some days you absolutely fail. Even on day one, I'm setting some things in place. And I said I was going to set an alarm to go off to put my phone into dumb mode. I did not set that alarm. And I had this thought yesterday of I want to put the screen time gauge on my home screen so I can see how much time I've spent on it. And I'm reminded of it every time I open my phone. So we're going to set that up. But before we do that, I set my alarm extra early so that I could get up, get out my traveler's notebook, and do my first creative page. And I remembered, I don't know if you remember, but I said yesterday, I think I wanted a 4th journal, but I don't remember what it was. I remembered. I want one that's specifically for running so that I can log my journey. I saw a woman do this on TikTok, of course, but I thought it was a really great idea. Like, I could write what my pace was, what the mileage was, and then write like how I felt, little notes, any little insights I got during the run, and have this log. And then another thing that I've seen people do with their journals is that they will write a letter, and then when they finish the journal, or when they finish whatever the thing is, or a specific date, they will open said letter. And I think I'm gonna do that and put it in the running journal. And so then I will have a note to open for myself when I finish my first half marathon and when I finish the marathon. And I think that'll be a really fun thing. I don't know if I'm gonna do it this week because I need to go back to the paper store and I don't know when I'm gonna be able to do that. But that is the 4th little journal that I'm gonna add in here. But let's get to doing our first creative pages. I think it's really interesting that last night I started feeling my PMDD set in, which, if you don't know what that is, it's premenstrual, is it depressive disorder? I can't remember what the DD is, but basically it makes me feel severely depressed, and it really started to hit me yesterday. And I felt that by how much I was trying to numb by scrolling on my phone, which realized didn't help me. Of course it doesn't, but it's interesting that that's coming up as I pull out my journal, because I'm interested to see what's going to come up when I go to create, because everything just feels a little heavy and a little dark. But the idea of pulling this out and using it makes me feel a little lighter, makes me feel a little joyous, makes me feel a little inspired, a little cozy. So I think that's exactly what I need in this time. So the timing of this truly couldn't be more perfect. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling. Honestly, what a good way to start the day. It's interesting. One page is a little heavier, one page is a little lighter, and the first one being life feels heavy, life feels hard, yet it is a spiral. It's going to flow back to ease, back to beauty. Lean in, trust the spiral of life. And then within this spiral, which, like, I'm not an artist in this sense, but that's not the point. It's just to, like, do what feels right, to, like, trust that childlikeness inside me. And I wrote things like dancing, flowing, fear, pain, joy, laughter, all these things that reside within the spiral of life. But at the center is love, always. And I think this is going to be a really beautiful reminder. And then on the other side, just like doodling, but a reminder that the sun is within me. It's always within me. And I can just come back to that I don't need to find something outside of myself. I think this is going to be a really fun practice. Okay. Although I started on the second page, not the first, which is, like, kind of frustrating, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to set my alarm on my phone. I have only used my phone once today, and that was to do my meditation tracker. So, okay, let's go to alarm. And then I'm going to put the widget on my phone so that I see my time that I've used, because I think that's going to be very helpful and important. Okay, it's another day and another day of reducing my screen time. My screen time was down by more than 50% yesterday, which is pretty great, but I would like it lower, so I need to fill my time with more joyous things. First thing to start the day, I went to our art part like recycle place, so you can donate unused art supplies or minimally used or scraps or just random stuff, and it is truly a treasure trove. I had to go there to get some stuff for a secret project that I'm working on. More on that in the next video, but I found some old magazines that I'm gonna cut up to collage. I also found some really fun colored pin markers that don't bleed, so these will be really fun to use. And then of course I have my trusty sticker book, and we're gonna do our creative pages, see what comes from that. I am so excited for this, you already know that, but I have so many other ideas. I'm gonna start so many more journals, because I was talking to my therapist yesterday and I was saying I kind of want to be basically like a naturalist, someone who documents nature but of my own life, so kind of like a documentarian. And every day I found this journal. It's this one, it's by Midori, which was who started the Travelers Company, and then they went off on their own and now it's just the Travelers Company, but it was Midori Travelers notebook, but it's Midori paper. And this journal, it's 1 page per day, and my plan is I want to get a little mini printer that I can print my photos from. So if you have a recommendation on that, please let a girl know. And then take like a couple pictures. Maybe one day it's all pictures, maybe it's just a few, maybe it's one, maybe it's none, but I just want to write a log of like what I did that day, and not like necessarily diary entry, but maybe a little bit, but just noting emotions that came up. Maybe I had a beautiful thought, maybe I just want to say this is what I did, or I just want to put pictures. But I think doing that every day would be so awesome to like have a catalog of that. And part of me is like, I should wait till the 1st of the year, but I think I'm gonna start 1st of September, so I can do September through September of next year, and it doesn't have to start at the 1st of the year. I mean, that'd be great, but I want to get that ball rolling. So that is the plan, and I got all other things, but let's dive into our creative pages. I'm not gonna be able to finish my entry because my glue stick is dead. So I gotta get a glue stick. So I'm gonna finish this later today. But this is so fun to collage. And I'm even like, I think I wanna use the scraps because I feel like these could also be beautiful because they're all these shades of blue. It's just like allowing me to use my brain in a different way and to be creative without limitations and it not having to be perfect or to be for anyone other than myself. I think we all need more of that in our life. And with that said, we need to go do more things that fill our cup up, that bring us joy. And I'm gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Something I used to do a lot was to go outside and sip for tea, to be with myself and to be with nature. And I decided today I'm gonna do that. It feels like a crisp beginning of fall day, and I have the space to do that, which I'm endlessly grateful for. To bring a blanket, to heat some water, and to set up a little tea ceremony for no one other than for me, to commune with myself and with nature. And it feels like truly the perfect little end cap to this first week of finding a better relationship with my phone, and I'm leaving it with a note and a reminder that I can come back to again and again. And by choosing to replace my phone with more analog things, and that analog thing being this journal, which is probably a new addiction, but a much healthier addiction, I have felt so reflective. I feel more internal. I feel more able to see my triggers and how I react to things, and to find better ways to cope, and to admit when I'm wrong, and just be in healthier relationship with myself, the world, and those around me. And that is a gift. And my phone will never give me that. It will never teach me that. But the note that I'm leaving this week with is, I am nature. Nature is me. We were always one. She was just waiting for me to see. For me to see, for nature as the she, because it's all one. And I hope that I can continue to come back to see that again and again and again. I hope that you feel inspired. I hope you feel cozy. I hope you feel invigorated to make your life a little more analog. And I'm excited to continue to take you on this journey and weave it into my everyday, into every video moving forward. And I hope to see you in those. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. I am so grateful for you and taking the time to watch this video, and for taking the time to be here with me. I love you so big, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.